Hello everyone, and welcome to Faking Fancy with Fwip, the show in which we sit in armchairs and pretend to be experts on subjects and just talk about things theoretically, hypothetically, and whatever letically that you want to. Today's discussion is one about a phenomena happening on the internet that I'm sure everyone has seen at some point, and that is, what is a brony? Now, perhaps a good place to start would be, where might you have heard of this phenomena? Now, you might have looked up the various hilarious pony thread simulators somewhere. You might have seen the original content and fan-made creations out there. But more likely, you've seen the vast flame wars on YouTube comments of people claiming to be bronies and other people attacking them for it, on videos completely unrelated to ponies. It's a phenomena going on across the internet. I'm sure not only on YouTube, but on many other forums as well. Pony content versus non-pony content. I think we have to talk about right now, what is the simplest form of a brony? And I think we can all agree that that must be an adult male that enjoys the show, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. But doesn't that beg the question, if that's really all it is, people who enjoy a cartoon, what's the big deal? Here's my view on it. The internet is like a big series of cultures. People getting together with common interests to form communities. Like how I'm part of the Minecraft community, or the Mario fan gaming community. Bronies have created a community of people who enjoy those cartoons. However, the difference between them and perhaps other cultures is that there's just such a big negative reaction from people who perhaps don't understand that maybe it's not all that serious. And actually, there have been people that have just publicly outcried that being a brony is a sign of over-feminization. These comments really do exist. And what the bronies have done in response of all this negative feedback is that they've come at it with almost an over-positive one, coming out of everywhere on pretty much any social game, media, anywhere, declaring that they are bronies and proud of it, and that everyone else should join them. Kind of a very interesting phenomenon, actually. I would say that they are definitely a counterculture. And the thing that I want to say now, that I want the whole video to be about, really, is the idea of social labels. Think of it like this. In high school, if you were to say that you were an emo or a goth, you would be putting yourself in a certain community that was going on there. You'd have certain friends, certain ideals, certain things in common that you'd share. Lots of very positive aspects. But at the same time, the negative aspect of labels is that attached to it is a whole wave of prejudice coming in from everyone on the outside. You know, all of a sudden might come these ideas that because you're like wearing makeup and sticking to dark clothes and funeral things, people might think that you are weird, strange, out of the ordinary, and that you cut yourself and other very strange things that were probably not true. It's a social phenomena, the negative side of labels, that I don't think, society honestly hasn't moved past prejudice, even though it's really not useful, because what's going on is that people are categorizing people based on the labels they use, but that forgets the fact that everybody is unique individually. It's not useful to think of groups of people in very singular ways, because it just cuts out everything about people, and then you just don't know them at all. But that's a phenomenon when it comes to community versus the outside community. Now, I'm a person who, I can say, is very accepting of other people, and who tries not to judge people unfairly, or even judge them at all if I can. Some people have said, Fwip, are you a brony? Because they've looked at my YouTube feed and they've noticed that I've made likes on certain videos that had ponies in them. I can say, I don't feel a need to justify any of my interests, really. I think it's fine if I support the original content people make, or like watching Azurite be absolutely scared shitless of the blank expression on pony faces in a certain FPS shooter. What could be wrong with enjoying that, right? It's just that, when it comes to labels, I have never liked them. To a certain degree, some are useful, such as me saying that I'm a gamer and an actor. That's very useful for my identity as a person. But I would say to any person out there asking me, Fwip, are you a brony? I would say no, because the amount of prejudice attached to labels like that is just... it just outweighs any positive aspect that could come. And I don't really feel a need to be a part of that community. At the same time, it's almost the same issue of anybody coming up to you on the street and saying, do you believe in God? Because automatically, a question like that is actually people... You can just feel them imposing their beliefs on you. That if you answer in a certain way, they'll try to change you because they believe that they are better somehow, or that their point of view is so much more important than yours. And what could be more wrong than trying to force people into categories? And in fact, I believe that labeling itself, although useful in some ways, is also allowing yourself to be forced into those boxes by other people that come and see you. However, as you can probably tell, I'm not a person who supports being typecast. And I am a person who can say, I don't have a problem with you, whoever you are, being whoever you are. I would have a problem, however, if you said that I had to be a certain way. Or if you somehow had a problem with me. Although, in life you'll always find people that have problems with you. It's best, I believe, to just ignore them and be happy with who you are. Anyway, as a bit of a social experiment, I am sure that many people, just by the very title and content of this video being talking about bronies, that I will incite such a YouTube comment flame war in the description. Just by virtue of it being pony related. And the funny thing is, I am very certain that anybody who starts a flame war such as that has absolutely no idea what this video is actually saying. Or what I've said at all, if that's the same thing or not. Regardless, I guess we'll see what happens. Thank you very much. Whether you are a brony, someone watching this phenomenon, or just another internet lurker looking for a way to kill some time. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Faking Fancy with Fwip, the show where we pretend to talk about things, have a good time. Anyway, good night, everybody.